Hello and welcome to another Sprues and Brews unboxing video, and in today's video we're going to be checking out Ashes of Faith, the latest Warhammer 40k Kill Team box. Now this moves away from the Gallowdark and it's actually more of a narrative box. So we still have two kill teams in here, but it's slightly less balanced. This is a lot more sort of about the story and the kind of narrative of what you can do with Kill Team. Before we unbox this, I think it is worth saying we don't know how many of this box is going to be produced. I hope there are plenty. We have heard you. Obviously, the last Kill Team box was a bit of a disaster when it came to GW and the amount that they produced. Hopefully, produce a lot more of this, because if you're like me, you're going to really want to get your hands on this Inquisitorial warband. So apologies if it does sell pretty quickly. We're obviously not in control of that. But what I can do is unbox this, show off the sprues and show off the contents of this box. So it's got a pretty nifty front cover. It's a big box considering it has it's got no scenery in it. So you get this new Inquisitorial Agents warband, which I'm really excited for. Fans of the podcast will know I've been waiting for Inquisitorial Agents for what seems like a lifetime. You also get a squad of 5 Scions and some Sisters of Silence as well, because as you'll see as we get to the book, the Inquisitorial Agents, you can, if you take just one sort of unit of them, one unit of 7, you can team them up with either Scions or Sisters of Silence, or even Carskin or another Imperial unit. You can alternatively, just kind of jumping ahead of ourselves here, but you can alternatively buy another sprue of these guys when they're released separately and have a full kill team of just Inquisitorial Agents. But more on that as we, press on and look at the paperwork and stuff that's in this box. You also get a big old unit of devotees, like Chaos Cultists. You get the Dark Commune, Torments, and Mutants. So the idea behind this, again, we'll see this when we get to the book, but the idea is you have all these Chaos Cultists, and as you go through the narrative campaign, which is in this box, they kind of turn into these more grotesque chaos beings. I think I've waffled on enough about the box itself. I think it's about time we open up this box and check out the sprues. So as you can see, as the lid is lifted, you're faced with a ton of sprues. So let's just slide this over here for a second and let's start looking at some of these sprues. Now, I'm going to concentrate on the new ones. Obviously, we've got a lot of previous kits in here. In fact, this is one of them right here. This is the Dark Commune. So this kit's been out since the new Chaos Space Marine book landed. A really nice unit. Your real sort of, your leaders almost of your cultists. I really like this big sort of staff. They're kind of like standard. Really nice. So I won't take too much time over the stuff that we've seen previously. But here we go. Right, so straight in, we've got a sprue of Inquisitorial Agents here. So Games Workshop have been quite sort of on their Warcom been saying how much of a kind of different builds and stuff you've got on these, which obviously we'll see when we get to the instructions. But straight away, there's some really nice bits and pieces on here. You've got your Servitor there. He can be equipped with multi-melter, plasma gun, or heavy bolter. Looks quite easy to put together as well. All these other parts. Pistol here, I think there, the plasma pistol. Yeah. Inquisitorial icon there as well. That's the other side. Yeah, I am so looking forward to building these. Something that I've been waiting for a very, very long time. So that's the first new sprue. What else have we got? We have here some Sisters of Silence. So again, this kit's a little bit older. A lot of you have maybe seen it before, but it looks like you've got a full unit of 5 there, which is cool. Don't actually have any sisters, so probably enjoy building and painting those as well. Let's flip that over. Check out the other side. Very cool. Then we've got I think this is a mixture of the Torments and the Mutants. Again, these came out at the same time as Dark Commune. Really characterful chaos sculpts these are. They really did do a fantastic new range of Chaos miniatures when that Space Marine book came out. What have we got here? We've got some devotees on here. These like Chaos Cultist, natural, absolutely jam-packed sprue. Again, I'll repeat myself, these came out with the Chaos Space Marine book, the last codex. Flip that over, so we won't spend too much time on those ones, but still very nice models. We've got one sprue left, which is your Scions, and it's it looks like the full Scion kit here, so you could make them as the command squad. The idea is you build them as 5 general Scions. Not sure if you can give them special weapons. Again, we'll see when we get inside the booklets. But yeah, that's pretty cool. You've got the banner and stuff in here as well. I like the Scions. I've painted a few of these a long time ago. They're probably not like well painted now, so I look forward to maybe adding these guys, giving them a new paint scheme. So that's all the sprues. So actually the only new sprue in here is that one Inquisitorial Agents one. I'll just pull that back out. Here it is. So we have just seen this, but that's the only actual brand new sprue in here. Inquisitorial Agents. What else have we got? So it's a shame they seem to have done away with they used to have artwork on these dividers, but not anymore. Just a plain Warhammer sheet there. You've got some boards here. I think this is what you play on. Ashes of Faith game boards. So you've got some trackers here. That's pretty cool. You've got your deck of cards and your trackers. And then obviously it must be your game boards. We'll take a close look at those in a second. We'll get that open. You've got the book. It's quite a chunky narrative book. You have got the assembly instructions there. And your cards are mixed in there as well. Again, we'll open that in a moment. A pack of cards unique to this box. This is your Ashes of Faith card pack. We've got a big old bag of sprues. We've got some stickers, which look like they go on the tracker. Looks like they're reusable ones as well, which is pretty cool. And then we've got a little Horus Heresy transfer sheet. I'm guessing they slipped that in because of the Sister of Science, because you have got just a couple of Sister of Science transfers on the bottom. But maybe if you play Heresy, you'll be able to use those as well for that. So we'll pop the sort of things we've had a look at back into the box, and we'll get these the book and the game boards open and check those out. So bear with me. So I've opened up the game boards, and it wasn't actually what I was expecting, that you basically get 6 of the same boards that are like this. So as we go through the book, I'm sure it'll make a lot more sense. Sorry about the light shining off there. But yeah, these are all, from what I can see, identical, and you get 6 of them. So yeah, we'll have a look in the book and see what that's all about. So this is fresh out of the wrapping, and as you can see in this part, we've got an Ashes of Faith Kill Team book, a campaign rule book, the assembly instructions, and these cards here for the narrative missions. So we're going to take a look at all 3 of these books. This is the first time I'm going to be going through them, so there will be a review to go with this over on spruesandbrews.com. The link will be in the description, but we are going to take a flick through these books quickly and check out what's inside. So first of all, we've got the main Ashes of Faith Kill Team book. Let's have a flick through here. So it's very, very nice and glossy. You've got the full story here of what's going on in this box, the Secret War. Obviously, it's going to be talking about the agents of the Inquisition. Just in case you don't know much about these guys. Oh man, I can't wait to build these Inquisition agents. Some really nice artwork. Look at that artwork. That is superb. So lots of lore. It talks about the Scions and Sisters of Silence. You have some of your Inquisitorial Agents all painted up. And your Sisters of Silence, your Scions. And of course you can team up with the RBTs, is it? The Breachers, Carskin, and Veteran Guardsmen. Your names and all your sort of backgrounds for you guys that you can generate to really give your kill team some flavour. And then it starts talking about the Chaos Forces, again, some amazing artwork. Very cool. Different cults. I suppose to give you an idea of sort of paint schemes, I guess, and background. Some of your Chaos cultists all painted up. Again, you've got some names and backgrounds that you can generate for your Chaos guys. And the artwork from the front of the box. And then we've got the actual army lists. So, Inquisitorial Agent Kill Team. So, an Inquisitorial Agent Kill Team consists of 12 agents or 7 agents and 1 ancillary support, which is like your Scions. You always have to have an Interrogator, a Tomb Skull, sorry. And then you can select agents from the following list. Select either 10 operatives or 5 if you wish to select an ancillary. So, there's only 2 that you need to have. And then you've got a choice of these guys here. Your kill team can only include 1 operative, each operative above once. Unless you're not including ancillary support, in which case you can include up to 2 gun servitors. That's cool. Yeah, I like that. And talks about what you can take. So here we go. See, Scions, you can take special weapons. And so it can only include up to 2 gunner operatives, other than gunner and trooper object operatives. Can only include 1 of each, so like 1 plasma, 1 melter, basically. We've got some more rules there for veteran guardsmen. And rules for all the other Imperial agents you can take. Well, the ancillary support anyway. Your tactical objectives there. I need to sort of read up on these because we're actually going to a kill team event next month, and I haven't actually had a full game of kill team yet, so I need to sort of get into all these different strategic ploys and tactical ploys and stuff and fully sort of digest it and understand what they do. So we're now moving on to basically the data slates on what each of the characters do. So we've got the 2 that you have to take in Inquisitorial Agents unit. You've got the Interrogator Agent and the Tomb Skull. Now, what I like is the Interrogator Agent can actually turn the pages on the tome to get different abilities, which is really cool. So they're pretty good. Comes equipped with fists. Yes, the best melee weapon. And also an extended stock auto pistol. Whilst your good old Tomb Skull comes with no weapons at all, because it's a floating book. We've got the Auto Savant Agent, Quest Keeper with the 2-handed chainsword, Deathworld Veteran Agent, Enlightener, Gun Servitor with his different weapon options, a heavy bolt and multi-mortar plasma cannon, the Hexorcist Agent, basically a crazy preacher. A Mystic Agent is a guy with like your banner, so he's got some nice aura buffs there as well, and psychic action. It'd be cool to see what these agents do in 40k because they're getting match play rules as well. And you've got a couple more here: the Pistolier and the Penal Legionnaire, Scoped Plasma Pistol, Suppressed Auto Pistol. And then we're moving on to some of the ancillary support. So you've got the Sister Silence here. Could be pretty, you might want to bring these ladies along if you're playing something like the Thousand Suns and Kill Team. But that's a good thing with the ancillary support. You basically, if you go to a tournament, you can take each of these different units, and then before the battle begins, you can choose which one to add to your Inquisitorial Agents. Very fitting with like the fluff of what the Inquisition are all about. We've got the Scions here as well. All of different gun options, your medics and stuff. And then you've got equipment. Servo Skull for the Inquisition. That's cool. Mastercraft Auto Pistol. Your Spec Ops rules. Sorry for the light there. Whoops. Rare equipment, strategic assets, spy. Your opponent's attack ops are not kept secret. Your opponent must still reveal them as normal, so they can't score victory points from them until they are revealed. Nice. Requisitions and some more spec op stuff. Yeah, sorry about the light. I've not put it in a great position for this video, have I? It's kind of shining off the very glossy book. Then we've got the rules of the Chaos Cult kill team. So operatives, you get 1 Demiurge, 2 Blessed Blade, 10 Devotees, 1 Icon and 1 Mind Witch. Your tactical ops there for them. Again, sorry for the light. Abilities. Strategic ploys and tactical ploys. And then your data sheets for them. These look pretty cool. Quite a few special rules on them. Making the most of the Dark Commune. You have normal Chaos Cultists and Mutants. Can take Torments. They look horrific. Equipment. Spec Ops rules. Rare equipment and strategic assets. Oh, look at that. Dirgecaster. Your requisitions. And again, some more spec ops stuff there as well to make your narrative for your kill team even better. And then you've got some pages that you can photocopy and to basically make your lists. Give them all names and options and stuff. There we go. There we go. So that's like the match playbook. The Ashes of Faith. So if you want to take the Inquisitorial Agents or the Chaos Cults to tournaments, whatever, this is the book you're going to need, which comes in this box. Now, the real key thing about this box is obviously the narrative flavour that it adds. And that's kind of what they're really pushing. And that's, I assume, what's going to be in this aptly named campaign rulebook. So it's not as thick as the match play. But this is where it's going to mix up the fun a little bit for Kill Team. So what we've learned so far is that, you know, your games might not actually be balanced, but there'll be more kind of narrative things to be doing during your missions. So there's a lot of background and lore and stories here. Planet that you're fighting over. Well, it's not really. These are going to be like secret kind of research facilities and things like that. Overview on how this works. So you've got Inquisition decks, Chaos Cult decks. Ashes of Faith campaign can be used with open match or narrative play. For narrative play, it can be used in a Spec Ops campaign instead of conducting a Special Ops mission. That's cool. And you've got all these which are new. So reward cards, persuasion benefit cards, some territorial tiles. Place a marker corresponds to one of the territories used in the center of the section. Oh, I'm not going to read everything here because this is actually the first time I've seen it in this unboxing video. But this is explaining obviously why you have 6 of them. Mark sheet, reusable friction stickers used for your territorial tiles. Oh, cool. The scheme says the players bid their cards face down. Ah, right. Yeah, that's really cool. That's a very different way of playing Kill Team. I like the idea of kind of capturing territories and stuff. That's very cool. And yet how your campaign round works. Okay. And stages of battle. How you earn control of your territories. I mean, what I'll do for the actual review on the website is I'll properly go through this book and learn how you play the game, and then I can obviously write a little bit more about that in the review. This is literally, you know, I've just opened the box. You're looking through this book with me at this point. Conspirator cards. Yeah, it's going to be really cool to learn all about this. It's very different to a normal game of Kill Team, which I really like. Dominant stage, look at this. There's quite a bit going on. Campaign objectives, earning rewards. mean, obviously a big part of this is being able to level up your Chaos cultists and have them kind of evolving into crazier Chaos mutants. So all your different sectors have got their own little rules, which makes sense, all your different territories. Kind of reminds me of a little bit like, in 40k they did a card-based map box. I can't remember what it was called now. I'm sure somebody will put it in the comments. Kind of reminds me about that, but instead of having like cards that you could put in like a folder to say obviously what territories you've got these territory boards instead in these stickers. Loads of different territories, each with special rules. Again, look forward to kind of reading more about those for the review. And we've got actually how the campaign's going to play out. So all these different missions. And then the fate, depending on how you get on. Some lovely artwork there as well. And then like a quick sheet at the back. So yeah, I mean, that's a very quick look at that book. I'm going to obviously read it in more detail for the review. But just from first impressions, it's a very different way of playing Kill Team, which really excites me. You were right in saying it's more about the narrative. So we don't have that much more left to check out, but we do have the instructions, which I know a few of you love kind of checking out. So let's have a look at these. It's got all your basic stuff here, all your sprues, your base sizes, handy little diagram to work out which bases are which. I like how these Kill Team, well, all the recent 40k instructions really make it as easy as possible when it comes to choosing which ones you're building. So it's important to note, and I'm pretty sure I've said this a couple of times during the video, you have to build one of these guys. So if you want this Enlightener Agent, you're going to have to pick up another box when it's released separately. Unless you manage to buy 2 of these boxes, of course. They're probably one of the easiest models to build there. Check that out. 2 parts and bang on the base. Then you've got your other builds here, your other units. This is probably the hardest one for me. I'm going to have to build the Pistolier, but I really want one of those quest keepers as well. So I'll definitely be getting a second box because I really want to be able to build everything. Again, you've got options here between the Death World Veteran Agent and the Legionnaire. Your Servitor obviously has got the different weapon options. And you've got a choice there between the Mystic and the Hexorcist. I think it's going to have to be the Mystic for me for the first one. And then obviously there they all are nicely painted. We then got the Sisters of Silence. So you can build them as Prosecutors, Vigilators, and Witch Seekers. So you've seen those before. And then you've got the Tempestuous Scions with all their different weapon options. Gonna have to have a really good look through the rules for these to see which ones I want to build. Again, different weapon options, your plasma guns, your melter guns, your flamers. And then you've got the instructions for the Chaos Cultists, which we've recently seen. Again, clear to see which options you've got to build. All your Chaos Cultists really easy to build as well. And your Torments. And there we go. So that's the Ashes of Faith unboxed. That was a very quick look at the contents. Like I say, I've literally just opened it, so there's a lot of stuff to read, especially those rules in the narrative book, which are all going to be in the review at the link. But it looks, first impressions, it looks very good. It looks a very different way of playing Kill Team, which I really like. But it's cool to have those match play rules there because, like me, you might be tempted to take those Inquisitorial Agents over to Warhammer World or an independent store to play some Kill Team games, which is absolutely what I'm planning on doing. So I'm going to take a bit of a pause, and hopefully after this next transition, we'll be able to see some built and potentially painted models. So bear with me, and fingers crossed. So a little bit of time has passed since we did that unboxing video, and I wanted at the end of this video just to kind of talk through a bit more about the kind of missions now that I've had a chance to properly read it. Because obviously as I was doing the unboxing, I was kind of reading it as I was going along. But now I've actually been able to go away, have a good read of it, and kind of summarise it. And there will be a full review over on spruesandbrews.com where I'll go into a lot more detail. However, like I say, I wanted to kind of touch upon it in this video. It is very cool. I really like it. You can tell that some of the missions are more balanced one way or the other, you know, Inquisition or Chaos. But it really adds to the flavour. And I really like the fact you're taking over territories, you're sort of gaining persuasion cards and stuff that you can then use within your games to give you, you know, benefits, but they don't feel like overly powerful, but they're just nice little, you know, haha, I can do this sort of abilities, which is very, very cool. The main bit I wanted to really touch upon was the taking of the territories, because when we were unboxing, obviously, we came across 6 of these. Now, in the box, you get 15 territories, which is a card that looks a little bit like this. It's double-sided, you've got your mission rules on one side and you've got artwork on the other. Some of them actually, that's a bad example, have an ability that you can use as well, which is very cool. So you get 15 of these in the box, but when you run a campaign, you actually only use 6 of them. So that gives the game a bit more longevity, because if you wanted to play the campaign again, you're not using exactly the same 6 territories. The book states that you can either pick the ones that you want, maybe you pick 3 and your opponent picks 3, or you could literally leave it to chance and, you know, shuffle the cards and draw out 6. But anyway, that's really cool that it comes with 15. And they go onto your board. And then you've got loads of other things on here. So I think the best way of explaining this is talking through how a round works, because the campaign is based upon 7 games of Kill Team. The first 6 are a little bit more than just a game. So let's take round 1, for example. So you start in the campaign. You start with a game of Kill Team. So you use one of the mission rules from the book. You play out the game. You then, after that, you then go into these different stages. Now, we did touch upon the stage page when we were going through the unboxing, but I think it's worth kind of repeating here. So I brought up the page again here. So we've got the battle stage, which is game of Kill Team. You then have your draft stage. So for each of the missions, you'll gain certain cards for victory as sort of victory points, which you can then use in this. And you draw 2 cards, 2 ruse cards as well, which are going to be important in a moment. You then have the scheme stage. So on these boards, what you'll do is you'll place your cards, depending on who you are, face down on here. You've got several different types of cards. You've got control cards, you've got persuasion cards, and you've got investigate. And the idea is you put them face down, so no matter what your card is, and you've got these conspirator cards as well, which you can use to sort of bid for territories as well. They all have your faction icon on the back, so you've got Chaos, or you've got the Inquisition. So your opponent doesn't know how many control cards you're putting down, how many conspirator cards you're putting down, which is very cool. And you use those to bid. So once you finish putting all your cards down, or you can choose to pass. So if you want to save some cards for future battle rounds, you can absolutely do that. And then you kind of draw them out then and you work out the effect. So depending on how many of one card you've got, you'll potentially gain, you know, special rules or overall control over that territory, etc. I'll be honest, with the amount of kind of, there's loads of different cards. So like I mentioned, you've got control, investigate, persuasion, you've got some conspirator cards, you've then also got investigation rewards as well. There's a lot of different cards and mechanics going on, which is cool, but I don't know if it could have been kind of streamlined a little bit so that it was less sort of, not complex, but the less mechanics. I think maybe less is a little bit more in some cases, a little bit less complicated. But yeah, so you're bidding on these territories. You'll track, so you've got your control, your persuasion, and your investigate on here. You'll track how you're doing on these. You get stickers which are reusable that you put your kind of markers on here. And obviously you've got 6 tiles in use, 1 for each of your territories. So you see what I mean? Like, it's quite a big board and you're going to have 6 of these kind of out with your territory on and you're kind of keeping track on how you're doing. I don't know if that's just a little bit too much. I mean, they're really high quality and the cards are really good as well. I just don't know if the whole campaign could have been done maybe on one slightly bigger board or something. I mean, I like the fact they've left enough space for all your decks, so when you place them face down, that looks all quite nice. You've got a nice little gap for your territory and your tracking. It just seems like they could have streamlined it a little bit, which maybe I'm being a bit too negative. You know, I know we like kind of all these mechanics and stuff, but anyway, I'm repeating myself a little bit. So yeah, that's how kind of a battle round works. If we go back to this, so we had the dominant stage, which you just mentioned, which you work out all your cards that you've put down, and you work out what effects you've got depending on what you've bidded upon, and you do that 6 times, because then obviously you go back to your battle round, and you then play through the scheming and draft stages again. Once you've then completed 6 of those battle rounds, you then go on to play your final mission, which is the ritual. It's kind of a bit hard to explain on video what all the different cards will do, so again, make sure you check out the review, because that'll probably explain it in a little bit better terms than me just talking to you here now. So yeah, I like it. I like the missions. I like the idea over the capturing territories, even if I think it could have been streamlined a little bit. And I also like all the kind of investigation reward sort of things that you can get. They're very cool. You know, like I say, none of the kind of buffs and benefits and secrets you unreveal during the game that help you in the games don't feel sort of game breaking. They kind of keep up with the narrative. So yeah, as a narrative expansion, I do really rate it. I think they're going to be really fun games. You know, I kind of wish I'd been able to get a game in before doing this review, because I think I would have been able to explain those rules a little bit better. But hopefully myself and maybe Matt will get a game on and either film it or maybe report on it over on our Twitter account or something like that. We'll keep you posted anyway. Hopefully we'll be able to get a game in. I know a lot of you will be really keen to see what I've done with the Inquisitorial Warband. Now, unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to finish them. There's quite a bit going on, unfortunately, in life as it is. But I did manage to get paint on most of the models. They're all not quite finished, but I had an awful lot of fun painting them. It's a shame I didn't get any paint on the Servitor or the Legionnaire. And I think the Mystic is a little bit further behind the other models as well. But like I said, they were an absolute joy to put together. Absolutely no problems at all. It was quite a tough decision between some of the builds. The Interrogator, for example, well, the Interrogator is an easy one because you either build him or the Enlightener. However, you need to have that Interrogator as a leader in your warband. You're only ever going to build the Enlightener if you get a second box of the warband. Slightly a harder decision was between the Pistolier, which is the one I went with the scope plasma pistol, or the Quest Keeper with a two-handed chainsword, which is a really cool model and some really cool rules as well. So yeah, it was nice having all those options. I think Games Workshop said it's probably the kit with the most options, and I think they're actually right there. I don't think any of the other Kill Team boxes have got quite the sort of array of individual models as this one has, and they all look really unique as well, even though it's all on one sprue, which is very cool. So you should hopefully be seeing image of these spinning around on Matt's lovely turntable as I'm kind of talking about them. There are images over in the review of the Chaos Chosen that Matt's painted as well, which are your adversaries, you know, the other team in this box. It's a great value box when you look at it for, like, you know, the brand new Kill Team, all the Chaos models you've got, the high quality narrative gaming components that you have with the cards and the tiles. What I would say is obviously you have the nice glossy Kill Team sort of proper sort of rules for your Kill Teams that you'll take to tournaments and things, and has all your rules for your data cards. That's obviously really high quality. Your campaign rule book is a little bit more like not a glorified instruction book's probably a bit harsh, but I can't see them selling that separately. Even though Games Workshop said a lot of the contents will be sold separately, I don't know whether or not they'll bundle this up with your cards and your tiles, or if literally Ashes of Faith is where you'll get these. Again, I think I mentioned this at the beginning part of the video when we recorded it. We have no idea how many of these there are going to be. I hope there's plenty to go around for people to be able to pick up and play it, because I really do think that the narrative missions here are going to be a lot of fun, and they're going to appeal to a lot of people. And obviously Inquisitorial Warband is awesome, but I just don't know, and I hope so. If not, hopefully the Inquisitorial Warband at least isn't going to be too far behind, so you'll be able to get your hands on it. And that, I think, brings us to the end of this video. Like I say, if you want sort of a more deep dive, a proper review of the Ashes of Faith sort of narrative campaign, and a bit more on the actual rule book as well, please check out spruesandbrews.com. It'll all be on there, and there'll also be images of both warbands for you to check out. So yeah, our thanks to Games Workshop for sending us this box. It's very much appreciated, so that we can do this kind of content for you guys. And hopefully you'll stick around the channel, like and subscribe. We've got lots more content coming. We've got a new podcast on the way as well. And don't forget to back us on Patreon if you like what you see. It would be very, very much appreciated. All links in the YouTube description below. Until next time, have a great time hobbying, and I'll speak to you all again very soon. Bye!